Porsche made a huge mistake. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree, but I think Porsche made a huge mistake in what I just saw, what I just witnessed and watched, which was the world premiere of the new Porsche Macan all-electric EV Macan. And before I talk about everything that they've done wrong, I'll talk about some of the things they did right. And yes, there's a bias here. They did right by presenting a white Macan with black door blades, and I was surprised to see that they didn't put the roof rack rails on it to add to the contrast of the vehicle. That's about as the best I could do at what Porsche did right. It's about the best I could do about what Porsche did right. What I feel like Porsche did wrong was, fortunately, I had my times mixed up, and I was an hour late for the live stream, I think. I'm really not sure how it worked, but I think I was an hour late. So when I got to see it and it started, maybe it started at 5:30 Central. It ended at 6. Nope, that doesn't make any sense. I have no idea what happened, because at 6:30 or about 6:15, 6:20, I went to watch it and it said it will start soon. And then at 6:30 it started, but they said it already happened. So I don't know what happened there, but essentially it wasn't, I don't think it was live. But fortunately, it wasn't live when I watched it, because I skimmed through most of it. Because honestly, it seemed like it was more about Singapore than it was about the new Porsche Macan. Now, in this debut, I did notice, maybe you guys noticed, I noticed a hint at the future. And obviously the all-electric Porsche Macan, it's an evolution. It's sad, but it's an evolution. The hint or mention of the 718 and the Cayenne next, and others, and more. So yes, the 911 will be all electric at some point in time. When? That is to be determined, and quite possibly you'll have ample warning and notice of that happening after the 718 and the Cayenne. Perhaps maybe the 718 will be a test for the 911, which, if you guys recall, the Porsche Boxster is really what saved Porsche, if you really want to think about it. So they can't mess this up. And if they do, then they should realize that they shouldn't allow this to happen to the 911. But the legal ramifications of that, I don't know how that works. Unfortunately, our enthusiast life is being modified, molded, and adjusted by government, law, EPA, legislation, backdoor deals, and other profitable ventures that these folks are involved in. But yeah, so I was not necessarily, I wasn't really excited about this at all. And I think they really missed the mark on connecting to the customer by delivering the information and things that we would really want to know. I did like the change to the fenders on the body of the new Macan and the wheel arches that essentially pay homage to the Cayenne, but have been painted in different colors separate from the body color that almost resemble like a C6 Z06. I'm sorry, a C7 Z06 fender arch. And I like that. I really do. The stance, relatively low, it seemed. Almost as low as mine, considering I have a seat lowering module on it. And it appeared to be, at the end, have to have all-wheel steering. 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds and relatively decent range, it could be a decent car, maybe. But the big question that I really have is going to be, what are the residual values where are they going to land? Where are they going to fall? Because we know the Taycan doesn't hold its value at all. Now, granted, we've had some fluctuations in the economy and in the market that would aid to that. I know that prices were trending up when I bought my Macan GTS during the shortage of availability. So where I bought my Macan and where the value is today, it's a depreciation greater than most would normally expect. But now that this Macan EV is coming out at a time where car prices should be somewhat leveling out in regard to what they're going for, the depreciation schedule should be back on track, theoretically. But I'm extremely skeptical about the value, the future long-term value of an EV in comparison to an internal combustion engine, where you know where you stand, you know what you're going to get. With an EV, I think it's a little too dangerous, a little too sketchy to get into that in the pre-owned world, sans warranty, perhaps, which I don't even really know how they cover the battery on warranty. I feel like a battery may be like a wear item. But be that as it may, here we are today, folks. And one of the other things that I noticed was a hint at the future as they discussed and explained the design of the Macan and how it borrowed. It tried to retain its own identity, but also borrowed from the Taycan's headlights, which makes me wonder, what kind of headlights will the 718 have? And more importantly, what kind of headlights will a 911 have? Because I think a 911, granted, we could look back at a 996 and see that Porsche strayed away from a traditional circular headlight pattern. Maybe they'll do it again. But maybe they're going about this all wrong, folks. I don't mean to make this about a 911, but I am truly concerned about the future of the 911 in a day where it no longer looks, acts, behaves, or sounds like a 911. I actually watched a video from Renthusiast, and he was talking about having picked up his new 992 911 Carrera T, shark blue, and was a little bit disappointed in the overall enjoyment and driving experience from the sound of the vehicle, from which he is unable to truly enjoy, because when he rolls the windows down, he gets so much wind buffering, it's unbelievable. But that's just it. Part of the 911 experience, part of the thrill and the joy of a 911 is the sound. And when that sound is hindered, whether it be by wind or by lack of an engine, lack of a flat six, 3.0, 3.6, 3.8, 4.0, whatever it may be, the lack of that, I feel like it will ruin the 911 experience. But I don't want to just sound like I'm complaining and hating or anything like that. I'm just expressing my honest opinions based on what I've seen, my expectations, and what we don't know yet. And what I do know is odds are I'll probably never own an EV Macan, unfortunately. I think it's a great looking vehicle. I think a Taycan is a great looking vehicle. I just wish they had a soul. I wish they had an engine. I wish they had a feel and a sound. And I'm not talking about Porsche or any other manufacturer coming up with the ability to produce these sounds through speakers. I want the real thing. You know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. And lastly, one of the things that I'm extremely disappointed in and thoroughly confused by is Porsche's decision on nomenclature in regard to the fact that we are in an era now where the trim levels of a Macan include a Macan, Macan S, a Macan GT, or a Macan T, a Macan S, and then a Macan GTS, which I think is probably the hierarchy there. They eliminated the turbo. And as they debut the new Porsche Macan EV, the 100% battery-powered Porsche Macan, they debut two models, one being a Macan 4 and the other being a Macan Turbo. I can't make sense of this. I can't make sense of this. I can't understand it. I can't agree with it at all. No, I just can't. It bothers me. It thoroughly bothers me that I would drive a vehicle, own a vehicle that literally said turbo, that didn't have not nan one turbo. I don't get it. I don't understand why, when the Macan was offered with turbochargers, that the turbo trim level was eliminated, only so that when the Macan is offered without turbochargers, the turbo trim is then reintroduced. Please, folks, help me make sense of this. Let me know what you guys think. Thoughts and comments down below. See you guys on the next one.